Can you hear it? Hello. It's
Oh,
it's that time of the day week um that we talk about video games.
do we?
I think we do. I think we come on and we sit around a circle and we all hold hands.
Oh, I
Circle.
want to hold your hand. I wish I was holding your hand
I
right now.
I do too. I wish we could hold hands.
Yeah,
It's been too long since we held hands and frolicked through the grass.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Um, Here, I'm gonna do a weird thing. I want to see if anybody notices. So I frequent Salty Mike's Discord quite a bit
yeah.
throughout the week, just because um, there's like there's three Discord channels specifically that talk about Star Citizen the most and have the most discussion. That is the subreddit Discord, number
Yeah.
one. Morphologist is org is number two, and then Salty Mike's Discord is number three. So I'm in there a lot, and they know me well. I'm going to post this stream.
Oh no.
I'm going to see what happens.
Okay. I mean, we're not talking about Star Citizen.
I be talking about video games here if you want to see it with your eyeballs. There we go.
Jake, it should be eye holes. Not everyone has balls.
Everyone has eyeballs.
I forgot to change your name. One moment here.
Oh, I'm Shiver.
Hello, Jake Shiver,
Hello.
or Shiver Acapella.
Why is my camera like vibrating? Have you noticed this?
I have noticed it.
Are you securely on your mount? I have it.
Maybe you're having earthquakes.
I could be having an earthquake. Yeah, hello everybody.
Hello,
All right.
welcome to Tuesday evening.
Your name has
This
been
is
changed.
Oh. Three balls to the wind.
That is correct.
That's my name. Wow. That's impressive.
I don't even really know how it
Oh,
works,
amazing.
but. Oh, wait.
Does it really matter?
I don't know, man.
I don't.
This is the show where we talk about video games that are specifically not Star Citizen or Squadron 42.
Specifically.
Yes, as I am an employee of Cloud Imperium Games, and also
Does that feel real yet? By the way.
no, it will next week when I go into the office.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As an employee, so that'll be weird.
Just like sidle your way in, like.
Yeah.
I think I work here.
Well, I'm going for a particular reason, but because we're still almost entirely work from home. What's up, Fist to Face Gaming? How you doing today?
Oh, fist to face.
Hey, face to face.
But yeah, this is a show where we talk about all the other wonderful video games of the world, because there are many.
Fist to face, hand to butt, eye to eye.
Yeah.
You're in luck.
Yeah. Here. I'm filling in.
Are
our
you filling in
document.
the document as we are live? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, in true relay fashion.
Oh yeah, we don't plan
yeah.
anything.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a while since I've been on the show. I'm happy to be back.
It's been a while since we've done the show. Honestly, it's been.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But I moved to Austin, which is why my background is different. And yeah, David.
Yeah.
What you playing?
What am I playing? All right.
You should end with Valhalla.
Yeah.
You segue seamlessly into Eric.
Yeah. I will. I'm playing a fair bit of Grounded. Cass and I have been playing a fair bit of Grounded together.
Did it get a update that they were talking about?
It did.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Did you
jeez.
the food mother.
I'm just finding out that there is apparently a giant lightning storm in the area, to the point that Cass's sister's plane has landed. She was coming back from BC. They've landed, and they won't allow them off of the plane.
Oh,
because of the lightning. They're not allowed to get off their
that's
plane.
crazy.
So, if this goes down,
aren't planes made out of aluminum?
You sure are.
They'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they're flying in the plane. I think
I do like that policy. If we're gonna get struck by lightning and all die, we have to die together.
But you're in a plane. You'll be fine.
I know.
Planes get hit by lightning all the time. Anyway, yeah, I've been playing a lot of Grounded. Great game. Yeah, we're just having a lot of fun building stuff and fighting spiders.
Grounded is, for those who don't know, it is a survival game, a la Rust, a la Valheim, a la The Forest, but it is made by Obsidian Entertainment.
And it's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
Survivalized.
Yeah.
You are shrunk down to, the size of a smaller. You're like.
Oh yeah,
ants are yeah, ants are large to you. So you are shrunk down to ant size, and
you're like a grain of rice.
Well, it's honestly it's really freaky because there's a whole bunch of things, right? Like there's ants, they're fine. There's aphids, whatever, they're food, you eat them. There's like stink bugs that cause a bit of a problem and stuff, and then there's the friggin' spiders, and the spiders are basically the size of houses.
Yeah.
And there's two types of spiders. There's the orb spiders that are little bastards and they patrol their areas and you got to watch out for them. They make entire blades of grass move and you avoid them. And then there's the friggin' wolf spiders that they just walk around sometimes, and every once in a while you'll be sitting in your base and you're like, "Oh, let's do this." And then there's just this like screech and your entire base shakes because there's a wolf spider attacking you because they're bastards. And it's a lot of fun.
Dude, we have those like for real down here.
Wolf spiders?
Austin. Yeah.
We get them up here.
They're
They're everywhere.
There's tall grass behind our house. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Random tangent.
We're good at those.
Austin, there is more wildlife that is around our house than any place I've ever lived in my life. I've seen 4 deer.
Wow.
A fox, many possums, a bunch of rabbits, and then we also have a couple neighborhood cats.
Kill them.
Your dog must just be losing his mind.
Yes, indeed.
Bangs everywhere.
Indeed.
Well, if there's foxes, you got to be careful of letting her out unsupervised.
Yeah. No, we never do.
Okay. Good.
Hallie's a tiny little bean.
Yeah.
He's always been an indoor dog.
Good.
But also, Tally's very fast. Extremely fast.
Have you ever seen a fox run?
Yeah. But also, I would say Tally is on par.
All right.
A fox probably isn't going to bother a dog. Foxes are small.
Most of the time they don't. The worry is, at least what started happening up here, is there's been some
They get territorial.
Yeah, and they attack.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is an aside.
Coyotes are a problem.
I just want. We were talking about like outside and wolf spiders. So I was like,
Yeah.
about wildlife.
No, that's fair. Also,
Cool.
also
I
talking
almost
about
thought-
wildlife.
But yeah.
I've also been playing a lot of Mario plus Rabbids.
I thought you've played it before. Are you playing it again?
Never played it before. I never bought it.
Oh.
It was on sale for like the week that they announced Rabbids 2.
Yeah.
The first one was on sale digitally for $5.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, all right, $5.
There you go.
It's one of the best damn like tactics games I've ever played.
Yeah, it's good. It's an XCOM game. 100%. It's an XCOM game.
It is, but it's
Got its own flavor.
yeah.
Like, it's both an XCOM game, but it's very distinct. That's like, it's like if you were to say Advance Wars is a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. But also, it's very different.
Mario plus Rabbids definitely has its own humor as well. I think the Rabbids like
Rabbids are minions if they were written well.
yeah. It's genuinely like there's genuinely funny moments in this game that are like, okay, that was funny.
Dude, you didn't change the game on the stream, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Fix it.
We'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
Thank you, Eric.
I don't have any powers anymore, so I can't.
No, you're powerless.
Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids is really good.
That's a great game. Highly recommend. If anybody has a Switch out there in the wilderness,
It's a good one to invest in.
You should go check that out.
Yeah.
And there's a sequel on the way.
Yeah.
That looks crazier. There's like full freeform movement that's like way more than the last game. It's awesome.
I really like the movement in this game. It I don't know, it's a lot more forgiving than something like XCOM,
Yeah.
which I think is really important. XCOM can be a damn bastard to play.
Oh yeah.
Especially since your guys die and they're gone, right? Like I don't know. I feel okay playing Mario plus Rabbids at, midnight when I can't sleep and I'm just lying there unable to, it's nice that way. It's a nice just lie in bed and get in a couple battles, no high stakes. Lose a battle, I'll just restart it. There's nothing. Yeah, it's nice. It's calm. It's funny. I love it. Great game.
Yep.
And last thing I've been playing. Go ahead, Jake.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario.
What else are you playing?
The last thing I've been playing is I've been playing some more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Just trying to get through its story and finish it off. I finished the Ireland expansion for it. It was really good.
Nice.
Overall, Valhalla is
I'm waiting until they put out the last one.
the last expansion. Yeah.
It better be Iceland.
Rush it all.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, as usual, I'm really impressed with a lot of the research that Ubisoft put into their games. For one segment of the game, you're in Vinland, which is North America, and you're encountering indigenous Americans, and they are all speaking indigenous, and they've got like fully voiced in I don't know what dialect, but fully voice acted. All of the characters are fully voice acted. Even as you're walking through the villages, there's conversations happening, and you have no translation for any of it. It's all like even the written subtitles are subtitled in I'm gonna say Algonquin, but I don't know what it is. But it's all accurate, and it adds a lot that I think is really important.
You know what I found helpful, or not helpful, but smart and nice that they didn't take the easy way out. Even in England, you can't understand the villagers, which is exactly how it should be. English 1100 years ago, or a little over 1,000 years ago, bears almost no resemblance whatsoever to English now.
It's
It doesn't sound the same at all.
yeah, no, it's a really fun game. It is as is par for Assassin's Creed games now. It is massive. It's possibly too big, but there's also a ton to do. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Eric, what are you playing?
Well, I've been playing AC Valhalla, like exclusively.
So
I'm like 21 hours into it now.
let me get this straight. So, if I remember correctly, a couple weeks ago, you played a little bit and you were like, I don't know if I like this.
There were a bunch of idiosyncrasies that hit me all at the same time about the game, and I didn't like how it started. And some of those remained, but the game is good, and so it sort of just overrode the issues that it does have. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I decided to finish, or as much as I possibly could, in Norway first before moving on. As a lot of people know, you start in Norway and you move on to England. The game is just huge, and the game world is very beautifully realized. Can't really fault them at all on any of the details. I really like. I don't know. In some of the AC games, I really didn't care. I know this is gonna rankle Jake, but in some of the AC games, I didn't really care about the present stuff. But I did quite like what I've played of the present stuff in AC Valhalla.
Oh my goodness.
I know we're diametrically opposed in that.
Oh my goodness.
In that matter.
I'm upset.
How do you feel about the rumor, Jake, of Assassin's Creed Infinity going to multiple timelines?
We're already talking about that later on.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Don't de-news the news. Come
Fine.
on, man.
Fine.
I just don't want Lady Space Patrol to feel like we're raining on her parade.
Yeah.
Hi, Lady Space Patrol. We specifically don't talk about Star Citizen because I work at CIG. I'm community manager.
He's not officially allowed to talk about Star Citizen without permission.
Yeah, but also I don't want to put on my work hat right now. Is mostly it. That's
Especially because you work your ass off for the community. So.
all.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I don't need you to inflate my ego right now, Eric. Okay.
Look, here's the thing. Jake was a pretty decent person when he was just part of Relay, and now he's part of CIG, and he's working his ass off for them, and he does a damn good job.
Oh, thanks. But
All
also
right.
like other video games, which is why I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We love chatting about games in general.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of events over the last few years, and we had a
Yeah.
blast doing it. So.
And Star Citizen comes up. We just, but also these fine lads here have a dedicated show for it on Saturdays. So if you want them to talk about Star Citizen,
LSP
on
was
Saturday,
LSP was there last Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep,
Well, isn't that nice?
it is.
It is very nice.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, Jake.
Wow.
Thanks, Jake. I take back everything nice I ever said about you.
Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Well, and the reason why I come on this show, Lady Space Patrol, is before I joined CIG, I was a member of Relay and I was on the Star System podcast. So
For years.
And on this podcast,
Or
this
literally
podcast does
5 years.
predate that.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, thanks for coming, both you and Fist Face. Appreciate it.
Look,
Yeah,
we for years, Relay and our previous iterations were claimed to be parts of CIG by various news
Very
people.
I was quoted. Eric's also been quoted.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, but Eric and myself have both been quoted as members of CIG from GameSpot, and I think somebody else, Polygon.
I think mine was Polygon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was this big article, and I was cited multiple times as a CIG dev. It was great.
Face.
Oh,
Well, it's good to see you again. But yes, it was very funny. And now I actually work there, so they're just clairvoyant, maybe.
Yeah.
Does that mean that I have to go work for Turbulent in Montreal?
Niskavian.
Hey, Niskavian.
Niskavian.
I just came in.
Niskavian, I love.
Oh,
you.
now the show can start.
Time is irrelevant to Niskavian. He's a timeless being.
He's a Time Lord.
Yeah. But it always means he's perpetually late. But that's why I love him. Hi, Niskavian. Yeah.
Oh.
Eric, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Eric. Were you
okay.
were you done with Valhalla? What else you got?
I'm not sure why. I've played AC games before. Valhalla feels like different from the other ones.
Did you play
No.
either of the new ones?
No, only a tiny bit, mostly because my Ubisoft really despises AMD, and so I bought AC Origins, but it ran like garbage on my computer. So, like, it's a known problem, and they just never bothered to fix it.
No. I remember that being the case.
And so I played it. I mean, I played AC Origins, but like for 5 hours, maybe.
I
Valhalla-
can imagine.
So my most recent, I would have to say my most like in-depth experience of the Assassin's Creed is obviously AC4 because it was like right up my alley, and like Black Flag is honestly, I'm sitting here wondering. I'm like, I was thinking last week that I might go back and replay that whole game because it's amazing.
Yeah,
but it's the best of the original Assassin's Creeds, but the last 3 changed up the formula significantly, and I think the series gained from it.
Yeah.
So the combat is not the same as it is from what I remembered.
No,
and
what I was going to say was I can only imagine how jarring it must be. Like, imagine if your last Assassin's Creed game was Assassin's Creed 2, and then you jump into Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
That's like...
So it's taken some time to get used to it, but
Totally
last night I kind of got into a groove, and it was nasty. I single-handedly destroyed an entire base just myself.
Yep.
Nice.
And assassinated about 15 guys and buried them all in the same bush. So that was pretty funny.
It's good shit.
No, it's a really good experience so far. The minor issues I've had with it, I talked about before. I still think your character moves way too fast indoors.
Yes.
It feels jarring, and it's hard to control at times.
That is a perpetual Assassin's Creed problem.
I can still remember the 1 and 2. the difficulty of like climbing stuff and then getting into the window rather than climbing around was they had
Brutal.
issues, but
Yeah. Also, okay, this is a seemingly minor problem, but it happens constantly throughout the game, and it's driving me a little bit insane. They encourage you to break open these jars and boxes and stuff on the ground to get loot, but your character usually misses them when you swing, about 90% of the time. So you end up sitting there just like freaking swinging and hacking away and hitting the walls, and then you eventually hit the jar.
most of them you don't have
And break it
to.
open.
Most of them you don't have to break. You just have to walk near to and click loot.
No, I mean, yes, there are those as well, but there's tons of stuff that you need to break open to even see that there is loot there.
I think I just ignore the things that you have to break open.
Yeah, you
because
totally
it's
just ignore them,
horrible.
but yeah, there's a ton of things you can break, and then there's loot in some of them. And so I try and break them, but it's really hard because your character misses them most of the time.
Shoot them. I found
I could
recently
shoot them, but
actually.
there's you have limited arrows. You have limited arrows.
I found recently that because I hated the ore, like you can mine ore, which is just there's this mound of ore in the countryside that you can hit with your weapon and ore falls out. You can also shoot it with an arrow. Hit it with one arrow and all the ore falls out. It's really weak veins of ore.
That of course has the exact same issue too. You like run up to it and you like swing at it and miss.
Yeah,
You're like, come on.
that's why I just shoot them. Shoot them with an arrow.
But regardless, you know, little issues. The game is really good. Has a bunch of really interesting little touches. Things like I told my guys to row down this river, and we were going into a bridge, and they actually lowered the mast on my ship so that they could go into the bridge. It was really neat. Yeah, anyway, great game. I love the base building part of it too. I always love a game with base building. Please always have base building in every game. Yeah.
Mario Party
Totally.
base building.
Why not?
Absolutely. I want to build my garage in Mario Kart.
That would be fun. Mario Kart already has, like the latest Mario Kart 8 has the ability to change your tires and your things and stuff, right?
Perfect.
Why not do that in a garage that you can add stuff to, that you build and add stuff to?
Perfect. We should be hired by Nintendo now.
Jake, what are you playing?
So I finally had time to play a video game. For the first time in almost a month.
That must feel really weird for you.
Yeah. Oh no, it was. I played Final Fantasy VII Intergrade.
The hell?
Which is a DLC expansion for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Intergrade, hey? Okay, sure.
Dude, man, do not question our Lord and Savior Tetsuya Nomura. He will.
Okay.
He gave us such beautiful titles as 358 over 2 days. Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage. That one's the worst one by far.
It's. I just gotta say, it's not an episode of the Unnamed Gaem Show without some Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Dream Drop Distance. It's the same guy, okay? He made the Final Fantasy VII also. It's the same man. It's like talking about me playing Death Stranding and then I don't talk about Metal Gear. Come on. It's Kojima. You gotta. But anyway, I played Intergrade, which comes with the PS5 update for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is just utterly gorgeous. 4K 60, new skyboxes, new VFX, A lot of quality of life changes. Like it is 100% a massive improvement over the original. The combat system is just as good. Intergrade though specifically. I know, David, I'm pretty sure you have played Final Fantasy VII before. Eric, have you played Final Fantasy VII?
I was a one of those weird people. I got Final Fantasy VII as a birthday gift, I think, on PC in the late 90s.
Wild.
And I played it on PC.
Wild. Well, I mean, you played the game.
Yep, sure have. Love
So
that game. It's amazing.
You know how to get Yuffie, it's like a hour and a half long side quest.
Never got that far.
I finished that game.
What?
Yes.
I have not finished Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right.
Final Fantasy VII was my least favorite of every single Final Fantasy I ever played.
Wow.
8,
There's
amazing.
there's
8,
at least
amazing. 9,
there's at least
spectacular.
bad Final Fantasy games that are underneath Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, 10 is worse. 10 is worse.
10 is worse, but also I love 10.
12 is the best. 12,
Oh my.
9, 8, 6.
By far, that's objective fact that Final Fantasy VI is the best one.
12.
Have you played Final Fantasy VI?
I have.
It's the best one. Is easily the best one. Anyway, we're gonna argue about this all day because David has bad taste.
Also, if you want to hear more about David's taste,
Yeah.
this Saturday on Relay Station is Bullshit Part 3. David's take on all of the Star Citizen ships.
Bullshit.
Yes.
And enjoy David trash talking all your favorite ships.
Yeah.
I've
I know
only
because
I
he
have
has the
only
correct
trash
opinion on
talked
Twitter.
like
You just
5
like-
ships.
He just like keel dragged the Carrack. It was rough.
The Carrack is rough. It's not my fault.
Anyway,
Off of Star Citizen.
let's talk about Yuffie, okay? So,
Yuffie.
Yuffie. David, do you know who Yuffie is?
I do.
Okay. So her and Vincent are the 2 optional characters that you can get in Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII. They have side quests that are like an hour and a half long. It's not really that long. It's just to introduce the character a little bit, and then they join your party. They instead turned that side quest for Yuffie into a 6-hour DLC. And it's extremely good.
Just for
wow.
Yuffie, are they going to do the same for Vincent?
Who knows, man? We know nothing about what they're doing with the rest of Final Fantasy VII, so we'll see how that goes. But Yuffie, my favorite character to play in the original, in the remake, the first thing was Tifa, because she's a monster. Like, she's so much fun to play. It was like playing a fighting game. It was awesome. Yuffie is the same, but instead of punching, she throws her giant ninja star, and it's extremely good. There's new materia. There's a couple new summon boss battles, and the final boss fight of that DLC is nothing short of spectacular. When all of you get PlayStation 5s, you must play the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I will.
It's so good.
I am going to.
I will do that. I've been trying to get a PlayStation 5 almost every single day for 8 months.
True. David, did you play 15? Are you nodding?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Sorry, I was.
You're minimized on my screen.
Oh yeah.
Um,
No, I played 15.
Okay.
I liked a lot of it, but found that I
you think
hated
about the
the
combat?
character. I liked the combat. The
Okay,
combat
so
was.
imagine if the combat was like the combat in 15 was excellent. Imagine if it was 10 times better than that, and
Awesome.
and way more complex.
I hated the story of 15, and I hated the main character of 15.
I liked the story of 15 up until, like, I was in all the way up until the Leviathan fight, the big Leviathan fight. The entirety of Act 3 was a mess.
Yeah, I think that's sort of where I fell off
Yeah. I was gripped up until that point. but yeah. I am excited for 16 as well. But yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty much all I've been playing is that. I am using the fact that my gaming setup has literally never been better than it is right now to go through a lot of my backlog. My next thing that I'm going to tackle is I'm finally going to play the second game in the Trails in the Sky series.
Did you ever finish all the Devil May Cry's?
Nice.
I did actually finish Devil May Cry 4, and it was okay. I'll play Devil May Cry 5 at some point.
Niskavian, I completely understand what you're saying. Mine sort of was as well. The problem with the PS4 and the PS5 has the same problem, is that while there's... the problem is that as much as there's a lot of things that are whatever or are also on PC, PlayStation also has the best video games.
Yep.
Ever,
By
basically.
far.
God of War is
the best game of the last generation.
Yeah. It
Not even
is. There's a lot that you can ignore. The problem is that they have some exclusives that are, if you like video games, you need to play. God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man.
I have never been a PlayStation person, ever. And I didn't own a lot of them, but I bought a PS4 just because of that. Because there were games I was missing out on that I was like, I need to play this game.
Yeah.
I would say
And the game that broke the camel's back, to just murder a phrase,
yeah.
Was The Last of Us, and I never got to play it, and I eventually it like warmed itself into my brain, and I'm like, I have to play this game, and I went out and grabbed a PS4 once it was Last of Us was remastered.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the 1 and 2 are one of my favorite games ever, and the show is being filmed in my city, and I am very excited for it.
I don't think that there's a better, like, God of War is...
I would say, unless you have nostalgia for Nintendo, then it should be a PC and a Switch, but if you want access to the most high quality games, have a gaming PC and a PlayStation 5.
I'd say PC and Switch, just because Switch stuff will absolutely never hit PC. Some Sony things are starting to. Horizon did, and we should hopefully see some more, but it's going to be years after they come out on PS.
But also the PS5 is just a fantastic machine. Plus, if you get PlayStation Plus, they give you like the greatest hits of PS4 for free.
Yeah.
And like that sounds lame when you think about it, but then also when you think about it, it's games like God of War, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Bloodborne, Horizon.
Outstanding games.
Yeah.
All that said, don't buy an Xbox, just get Game Pass.
Yeah. Also, Niskavian is the operative word in that comments. They have a new director who is
Actually, I'm gonna
changing that.
I'm gonna go a different direction with that because I am an Xbox person. If you are on a budget of any kind, Xbox is your friend. It is the best machine you can buy, and Game Pass will give you games.
And you don't have a PC, 100%. Get an Xbox.
Yep.
Not even a question.
Xbox is the way to go for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
but yeah, Sony has opened the gates for cross-platform. They just have to do it. Like it's up to the devs now.
Well, except that they're open the gates in that they're kicking and screaming and yelling and pissed off about it the whole way.
I mean, they did
Now
just
it's not a problem.
they did
basically.
just buy a or bring on into the Sony fold a dev that just did PC ports.
They brought them into PlayStation Studios.
Yep.
To do
Yeah,
PC ports. So
say keep an eye on Sony. They have new leadership over there as of the end of the PS4 life cycle. So things can change. Niscavian, trust me. It was not that long ago when they announced the Xbox One was going to be an online only console, and you would have, even if you buy physical discs, you would have to have a constant internet connection to play single player games. And now Xbox is the most consumer friendly platform, even more than PC.
yeah.
So yeah, basically my suggestion to you, as we see below my screen here, we are fighting cynicism. Things change.
Yep.
Just don't hold your opinions close to your. Always have an open mind about these kind of things, because things change all the time.
Yep.
After
lose money.
after Unity and the other one.
Unreal.
No,
you're talking about
Assassin's Creed. After Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed, I can't remember. There was another one that is so unforgettable that I don't even remember the name.
You mean forgettable?
Syndicate. Syndicate. After Syndicate,
yeah.
after Syndicate and Unity, a lot of people had written off Assassin's Creed. Period. And then they came out with,
And
World's better than Unity, but yeah.
but then Origin came out, which completely changed the face of Assassin's Creed. Like it's video games.
the last
right?
three have been excellent.
Video games.
I
there's-
remember I gotta give Ubisoft credit. I did not think that they were going to be able to pull it out of the dumpster fire, you know,
A lot of people did.
because they were going the wrong way in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
don't
even-
write anyone off.
Yeah, never write anybody off. Just keep an eye on them.
Yep.
Sony has personally redeemed themselves in my eyes on that front. I think a lot of the problems that they had, and like they're kind of, is draconian the right word?
Yes,
Archaic.
both.
Okay. That their viewpoints on things kind of left with Sean Layden when he left the company. So,
Honestly, at this point, Nintendo is a little bit, or Nintendo is more anti-consumer than Sony.
the worst anti-consumer.
Yeah,
Actively.
they're in a bad spot.
Yeah, which is it's hard for me to like, unless you have specific games that you want to play on a Switch. It's hard for me to recommend one right now.
I can't.
Yeah, honestly, when I bought my Switch and I just
Skyward
I
Sword,
own every platform.
Skyward Sword, Metroid Dread.
Dude, I'm excited for these games, but it's a handful compared to the wealth that the other consoles offer.
yeah, I
Anyway.
mean, even looking forward to the future, you look at what's ahead for somebody who has an Xbox and Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, it's just game after game after game after game for years of like AAA games they're getting for free.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
for free.
Niscavian, exactly. 100%. That's exactly it.
Yep.
No Man's Sky turned that entire ship around. There's another game that did the same thing that we're going to talk about here in a second.
Yep. All right, let's move on from this to. Excuse me one second. Where there it is. The accurately named segment 2, one game you want. Jake, what game do you want?
I want the expansion to Final Fantasy XIV, which is called Endwalker. I know I've talked about it on the show before. I'm going to talk about it again. We're going to space.
Nice.
Final Fantasy 14 is going to space.
Because why the hell not?
In the two classes they're introducing are the Reaper and the Sage. The Reaper is Bloodborne the class, and the Sage is, hey, you want to heal your party, right? What if you could heal them with lasers?
Yep, I like it.
I'm happy. I can't wait. And we'll talk a bit more about Final Fantasy 14 in a second.
Yeah.
But I also have been playing that a heck of a lot, and it's wonderful. That game is so good.
Eric, what do you want?
Me?
Yeah. No, the other Eric.
You
never
were
said
cut
my
off. You
name.
didn't say Eric.
Oh, sorry.
You just said, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I don't know. What did I
Sorry.
do wrong?"
I thought I spoke, but
So I don't think I've mentioned this on here, but it deserves a mention because it's looking real good. Halo Infinite. I am so excited for a new Halo game, a modern Halo game. We're like 4 or 5 months away from it here. I'm very excited for that for a couple of reasons. One being, hell, I love Halo. Two being, Coach Co-op is coming back. Finally. That was the biggest mistake ever made by any game studio in the history of mankind. And because Coach Co-op in Halo is one of the coolest gaming experiences that exists. And the multiplayer for Halo is free.
yep.
Did you watch that trailer? Like the multiplayer,
Yeah.
Halo multiplayer.
Yeah.
trailer?
It looked amazing.
It looks awesome.
It looks so good.
That is such
I really can't wait.
that is such a good move by Microsoft to make the Halo multiplayer free to play.
One of the really unique things about Halo, Halo in general, but Halo multiplayer is that the weapon pickups on the ground have physics, and it's one of the only games that has it.
Remember that?
Think
What's
about
that
it.
fucking thing flying over my head?
What other game has the guns actually have physics? There's very few. I work for one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah. But what I loved about that trailer is they leaned really hard into it. Where like people are throwing grenades to blow up and shoot guns at themselves in midair that they can grab. Like, yeah. I want all of it. I can't wait for Halo Infinite. I am more excited for Halo Infinite than I am for Battlefield. Even though I kind of do.
In Battlefield, actually, I have to give Battlefield credit. It looks really good.
It looks
Yeah,
really good, though I have been hearing some issues with it in that the massive map altering weather effects get old really fast.
Oh.
Well, we'll see. They have. It's not out yet, is it?
No, it's not. It's
No, I don't think so.
there's tons of time for them to figure that out, but apparently the tornado is really annoying because
It's a fucking tornado. Of course, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
I think it's going to be one of those. Let's see. I need to see it in action.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah.
Halo Infinite for me. So, I'll be right back, guys.
Yep, no worries.
Cool. We can jump into the news.
Excuse me. I have a game that I want too, Jake.
Oh, I didn't. Well, you had mentioned it before, and my brain told me that you had talked about it already.
That's fair. I haven't talked about it because more new. I want Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword is coming out in 2 days. 2 days.
Yes. Yeah.
I have pre-ordered it. I'm trying to step away from pre-ordering games for the most part, but Skyward Sword, it's a Zelda game. I'm buying it.
It's also a known quantity Zelda game. So.
Yeah. It is. Thing about Skyward Sword is when it released on the Wii, it was not great. It had a lot of annoyances, like, oh, that is the made with recycled plastics Xbox controller that I really want to get.
And it's awesome. This is so bright that it almost glows in the dark.
Wow.
Love it.
It's awesome.
I say this, I mention this every once in a while, but this is actually a great time to bring it up, that of all of the companies, the video game companies that I know of, Xbox it's Microsoft, and Microsoft is one of the most environmentally conscious companies on the planet right now. They have plans to take their entire operations carbon negative by 2030, which means by 2030 they will be removing more carbon from the atmosphere than they put into it every year. This is hugely important, especially with everything that's been going on in the last 2 to 3 weeks. You can see the effects of climate change all right across North America. We are running out of fucking time, and we really do need to be putting our resources, our money, and our support behind companies that are standing up and making change, and Microsoft is one of the best at that, and I give them all kinds of credit for that.
For those of you who are new to the relay show here, David works in the environment for the government of Canada, so he's extremely passionate about these things,
Which is awesome.
I am also passionate about these things, but I'm like a 9 out of 10, and David's like a 15 out of 10. So
awesome.
I keep bothering Jake about when CIG are gonna make some carbon neutral.
And I'm an associate community manager, David.
Don't
I
care.
don't know anything about this stuff.
Don't care. That's where it starts. Seriously though, it starts with you.
David.
You have to make the change. Yes, Eric.
Band too fast.
Too fast, band. I don't begrudge anyone working for anything that pays them, because we do all need money to live. Just,
And our economy is currently in apocalypse. So
the economy is an apocalypse, and even right now, there is no way to today shut off the requirement for oil. It's not going to happen. The requirement is for everyone to say, how do we reduce our requirements on oil, and how do we get it out of industries where it is not 100% necessary? Because you're not going to run an airplane on batteries. Not going to happen. Maybe eventually, but for a long while, that's not going to happen.
It might make you happy to know that NASA actually has a plane now that runs entirely on
I know.
battery power.
I know
They're going.
We're working on it, but you can't flip the switch day one. So I don't begrudge
David?
oil. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I'll shut up.
No, I just wanted to say, I waited months for this controller to show up in the store so I could buy this specific controller that is made with recycled plastics, because I wanted to be like, make them this way. They sell better.
Put your money where your things matter.
Heart is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Where are we at here? D2 Resurrected or
no? I still haven't even finished Skyward Sword.
Very
Oh
quick.
my God.
Go, Jake.
To wrap this up, you said everybody should be doing their part, so I did.
Yes.
I bought a car
Woo!
that does not run on gas, so I'm very, very happy. Yeah,
Mr. Tesla owner, congratulations, man.
I've been saving for
Texas
5
Tesla.
years, and it's
Awesome.
finally time.
Just as Texas wants to tax you for owning
Yup.
to use their roads.
Yup.
Ah,
How can
Fuck
they tax you?
Texas.
There's a state tax. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right.
Anyway,
I
Skyward
want to
Sword.
quickly finish
Skyward
Skyward Sword. So, Skyward Sword came out a long time ago with the Wii, had a lot of issues. It had a horrible tutorialization at the start. They had a problem where throughout the entire game, anytime you picked up a heart container, it explained to you what a heart container is every single time.
Every time.
Just horrible, like, just design choices that are just really dumb. But it's also canonically the first game in the Zelda timeline, which, if you didn't know, there is a Zelda timeline that goes all the way through and then splits at Ocarina of Time and then splits again. Anyway, Skyward Sword is the first in the timeline. I never played it all the way through because I got so pissed off at the tutorialization and just the unwieldiness of it at the time. But it's coming to Switch. It sounds like they've made a whole bunch of changes. There's quick saving. The like little Navi, the little fairy person, it's not Navi in this, I can't remember the name, doesn't Fi doesn't bug you all the time. You now have to prompt for her to bug you. Like, it just sounds like they've made it a much better game to play, and I'm really excited for that. Can't wait for it. 2 days. I'm excited. Dude Fast, it does depend on where you are. Charging stations are rare, especially Tesla ones. Tesla ones do have the best charging stations, but they are expanding. I know even the government of Canada has pledged like $100 million over the next couple of years to put in a countrywide charging station network. They're coming.
The government of Canada has, and I gotta give them. I have to give them credit because it's. I mean, might as well call these people out when they do good things. Petro Canada, which is obviously a gas station chain, have also pledged to put in a Canada-wide charging network of their own.
Yep.
On their own, before the government said they would.
Yep.
Dude Fast, you're a fellow Albertan, like Eric here.
Yeah. Welcome, Dude Fast. I'm Ottawa, and Eric is Alberta.
Yep.
Austin.
Yeah, he's a filthy American, but the rest of us are good people.
We haven't folded Texas into our country yet. We're working on it.
All right. Oh man, it's time
It would
for.
be really funny if Texas seceded and joined Canada.
They never would. We don't like guns like they do. It's time for the Thorth segment. Hey, look, guys, news. The Thorth segment.
I love it.
Literally never gets old.
Number Thor.
Number Thor.
Number 4.
Segment.
It's very Icelandic of you.
Yeah.
D2 Resurrected, we're getting, I think, it launches, I believe, in September. We're getting some betas and open betas in August. Really excited for that. D2 Resurrected looks fantastic, but today they had Blizzard had a blog article about a bunch of other updates that they're doing. There's some accessibility updates, there's some UI updates. They are changing a bunch of the items to make them look more like they did in original D2. Most importantly, though, they are adding more stash space. So in the original Diablo 2, you had your personal inventory and you had one page of stash that you could use, which meant that every single player of Diablo 2 ever had 15 to 20 mule characters to hold all of the other shit that they wanted to keep but couldn't in their stash. Sounds like Blizzard has understood this, and they are actually making the stash now be 4 pages of stash, which is fantastic. And I think it's also shared between all your characters, which is great. That's going to alleviate one of the huge annoyances of D2, which was having to log out, log into your mule, drop your stuff in a game that you hoped no one joined, log back out, be told that you logged in and logged out too many times so it wouldn't let you log in, and then you sit there waiting for 5 minutes and trying to rejoin and hope that the game that you left your stuff in didn't disappear before you got to it to take your stuff back.
Sounds fun.
Get a Thorth vehicle, it'll be a fjord. I like it.
Oh no!
I like it. id Software. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. Some people know of them in the video game circuits.
Made a couple games.
They've made one or two.
Oh my God.
Interesting history lesson.
Hey, ever heard of it?
Have you ever heard of id? Apparently, they started their life as a gaming company by wanting to make a Super Mario Brothers 3 PC port. They made a demo for it. They sent that off to Nintendo. Nintendo said, no, not going to happen. So instead, they made Commander Keen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which is a Mario game.
Which is a Mario game for PC. But that PC demo has been found, and it is now in a museum and also available for researchers to look at, because it is a important piece of gaming history, and I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
What's that?
Which museum?
That I honestly don't know. I'd have to look that up. I didn't write that down.
I'm gonna roll the dice and say it's in the National Video Game Museum in Frisco, which is where id also is.
It is preserved at the Strong National Museum of Play.
Oh yeah, another great choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Strong National Museum of Play. So it's preserved there and also online.
Cool.
Total War Warhammer 2. Phenomenal game. Total War is a great series, and Total War Warhammer 2 is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of that series. Total War Warhammer 3 comes out later this year, which means that Total War Warhammer 2 is getting its final update tomorrow. Its last... I don't know if it's its last patch. They might still patch stuff if things break. But it's its last new content update. They're getting a couple new lords, couple stuff. But really importantly, there's a huge update to the Beastmen, who have needed it since the dawn of time, and also to the Dwarves, who have needed it since the game first came out. I'm super excited about that. Great game. Absolutely love it. I think I bought it for Jake, and he still hasn't played it.
I have not.
Yeah.
It's installed.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a step in the right direction.
We're almost there.
Yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo has been delayed a year.
I'm excited for this game.
Looked really neat.
It looks really cool. It's like if Mirror's Edge was a sci-fi game, but also a horror game.
Yep. It's been delayed a year. My stance on this is it is always good for a video game to take more time. If the game needs more time, the game takes more time. Period.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
No argument.
You are mixing it up with something else. But I don't know what exactly. There is no movie based on this.
Speaking of games that needed more time, Elite Dangerous released its latest patch, Odyssey.
I have no comments.
I know you don't.
No, you sure don't.
Elite Dangerous released its patch, Odyssey, which purportedly allowed players to go around planets in person, which for a game like Elite Dangerous is big news, I suppose. Someday maybe they'll even figure out how to give ships interiors. We'll see. Anyway, Community response to Elite Dangerous Odyssey has been
Very bad.
absolutely abysmal, to the point that numerous community members of Elite have been leaving and joining another space game, which shall remain unnamed. Anyway, sounds like what? What, Jake? What do you have a comment on this story, Jake?
No comment. No.
Oh, boy.
Sounds like Frontier have at least somewhat accepted that they screwed up, and they are delaying, indefinitely delaying. I could say that, right? No, I hate that word. They're delaying any console version of the patch until they have fixed the PC version of the patch. So they
Sounds smart.
Yeah, so there's no update on when the console game might get its patch for Odyssey. They need to fix the PC version first. Unfortunately, I didn't see any news explaining how they would fix it with, things like decent gunplay or the interiors of ships, which apparently isn't on their roadmap. So who knows? We'll see. In Final Fantasy XIV news...
Yes, this is incredible. By the way,
I literally don't know how this happens, but apparently,
I can tell you. I know this whole story. Okay, so Final Fantasy XIV is undergoing a massive boom right now because people are leaving World of Warcraft in droves. The end game of 9.0 was mediocre at best. And then 9.1 just took a big hot dump all over it. So people are not happy with World of Warcraft. And this includes content creators who almost exclusively stream World of Warcraft, such as Asmongold.
who went and played FF14 and liked it.
Yes. And broke a bunch of servers doing so. And because all of these people, and it's actually kind of similar to the Elite story, but on a much larger scale, because so many people have an interest in Final Fantasy XIV, they suspended all digital sales of the game because the influx of people was so massive that they're like, hey, thanks, we love you, but we also have to maintain the experience for the people who have been here. So they literally halted sales of this game in order to maintain server integrity.
Wow.
Yeah. It's wild.
FF14 doing pretty good right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Also, somewhere at that company, some manager is screaming at an IT guy to get more servers online.
Yeah. Yes, they must scale up, and they must scale up now. But it's awesome. I have nothing like, and to kind of put it, like, the coolest part about it is I love the Final Fantasy XIV team. They are like some of my favorite developers on earth. If you go, if any of you guys have time, go on YouTube, go to the No Clip YouTube channel, and find their video series on Final Fantasy XIV. It's a 3-part video series. They're about 30 minutes to an hour each. It is the story of how, like, 1.0 was an utter disaster, and they brought it back from the dead.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
And so they made right on it. Like 100%. They did 100% right by the people who put a lot of time into the original. They made the game a million times better, which brought a huge wave of new players. And they've had a pretty stable community of like 6 to 8 million players since like Stormblood came out.
They did the right thing at the time, which was they shut it down, apologized, took the time to fix it, and then re-released it.
That's
And
the
now
way to do
they're
it.
reaping the benefits of that. And the game director, so what's funny is I don't know his actual name off the top of my head. My brain keeps telling me Shuei Yoshida, but he works for Sony. But his handle is Yoshi P. And Yoshi P is one of the things that he said was people will come and go with an online game like this all the time. Like people will like get burnt out, they'll lose interest over time. What you have to do as a developer of a game like that is make content good enough that will bring them back. And that's his whole philosophy behind Final Fantasy XIV. And it's to the point where Shadowbringers, the latest expansion of Final Fantasy XIV, is regarded in the same esteem as the best Final Fantasy games, like the single player Final Fantasy games.
You know what one of my biggest problems with FF14 is?
What's that?
Their account, everything is horrible. It is
terrible.
Absolutely atrocious. Like insultingly bad. I bought FF14 at launch. There is no way for me to get that account back.
For some reason, Japanese developers are not good at online services.
At all.
I don't know what it is.
At all.
I don't know what it is about it.
That's just bizarre, hey?
For some reason, like every time I hear about like a weird online experience, it's almost always
Yeah.
Japanese developer.
But
a
like
Japanese
their
It's
online
because-
stuff is so bad. The account.
It's because they Japan was never really PC centric at all. They
Yeah.
still are. So they never like it had to be super basic.
No one has
They're
room in
all-
their houses for PCs.
That's true. And I mean we've seen Shiver's room.
Yes.
But that being said, and it's one of the reasons why like they typically lean towards console development. Why you see Japanese games almost exclusively launching on console and not coming out to PC is because there's no market for it in Japan.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I can't fault them for that. But what's cool about that is Final Fantasy XIV is an equally high quality experience on a console because it was designed from the ground up to be played on a PlayStation. So that's really cool. I really like that a lot. But yeah, they're getting like a huge amount of attention from streamers who are just absolutely fed up with World of Warcraft.
About
they
time.
deserve it. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is a great game.
Good.
What a crazy story, though.
Also, yeah. Also, another, honestly, in my opinion, great game. Genshin Impact.
Yep. Oh man, Dude Fast can
Yeah.
tell you that the Salty Mike's Discord server has like a subset of Genshin Impact simps.
I really like
Wait,
Genshin Impact.
Sorry.
It's a very good game.
Genshin Impact stands?
I think Stans is the right one.
Stands. Okay.
Genshin Impact
I mean,
is,
they could be
is
Sims.
good.
You never know.
You know what? I played Genshin Impact. They are.
It's getting what I believe is their the largest update yet. On July 21st, they're adding a new region to the game, which realistically hasn't happened since the game launched.
Yep.
It's going to be a series of islands. I think only 3 of them are open at the start, but there are 6 or 7 total. Anyway, really good for the game. I like it. I'm happy it's doing so well. And I hope we continue to see more from it, because it may be free and it may be gacha, but it's still good.
It's a good game that I'm avoiding playing because I also have Immortals to play. And I like that game a lot, and I do want to play it. But also, I know if I play Genshin Impact for a while before I play that game, I'm not going to want to play it. So I'm going to play Immortals first.
That's fair. And then this next one is kind
I
of
can try
fun. Okay, go ahead. Go.
Well, also I saw it firsthand. So,
Okay.
Apex Legends has been the victim of a bunch of DDoS attacks over the last 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give or take. Hi, Shiver.
I was wondering if that would summon a shiver, to be honest.
Somehow that summoned Shiver in here. Basically, people DDoSed and hacked this. Like, it wasn't just a DDoS attack. It was also a full-blown hack of Apex Legends backend services, in order to raise awareness for the state of Titanfall 1 and 2.
Which is horrible because Titanfall 1 and 2 are supremely good games.
Yes.
That deserve.
Are you aware that they are plagued with hackers right now?
Yeah, and they've got 1 to 2 people working on them, and that's it. And that is really unfortunate for games as good as those.
It's unfortunate, and it's upsetting that they don't have enough. They haven't put enough staff on it. Especially since Titanfall 2 has had the long tail that it has had, especially in the last year or so. Because they moved it to Steam, so it got a huge spike of concurrent players. It's a shame. But also, don't hack games. They know. Just because, like, they did it, they framed it as an awareness campaign. Shiver, yes. For further information on the state of PC in Japan, see Shiver's comment here in the video. Niskavian, you should play Titanfall 2's campaign at the very least, especially considering Titanfall 2 goes on sale for like $4 very often.
Especially considering that if you have Game Pass, which you should have Game Pass, Titanfall is part of EA Play, so you get it free with Game Pass.
But essentially what these hackers did for Apex Legends is they hacked all of the text on like the ranked play button and stuff like that, where like it would say like fix Titanfall, like things like that, to bring awareness to it. Which, I mean, they're aware, dude.
I think
Game developer, if there's any game developer who is on Reddit the most, it's Respawn Entertainment, followed very closely by my own company. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, Niskavian, 100% play that game. You can beat it in a long afternoon. It's about 5.5 hours long. But it's also maybe the finest first-person shooter campaign of all time. Play Titanfall 2. Everybody in the chat, play Titanfall 2, please. Please.
It's very good. It's very good. All right. Witcher news.
Yes, there's a few things about The Witcher. About specific. Well, actually, no, just about The Witcher. A couple things. So, The Witcher TV series is coming back in December for season 2. Very exciting. If you haven't watched it, watch it because it's great, regardless of if you like the game or played the game. The show is awesome. It's on Netflix. They are doing. CD Projekt Red is doing a next gen patch for The Witcher 3 for the new consoles, which is just awesome. And they're also doing yet another free DLC for The Witcher 3, which is going to include some things that are inspired by the show. CD Projekt gets gold star once again for supporting their work long term.
Do you think they should support Cyberpunk at some point?
They are.
They are, David. They
I
just
know.
put a patch out like 3 weeks ago.
If they weren't working on it, they would have just put it out and then never patched it.
I know.
Anyway,
Sure.
so they
My bets are on the chunk of glowing green rock. Sure.
they also put out what is kind of a very interesting figurine, which is Yennefer reimagined as basically a ninja.
That's cool.
It's like a 17-inch tall statue that you can buy. I just dropped a picture of it in the chat. Pretty neat.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
pretty
cool.
neat. That's just Sekiro.
Basically, yes.
Is it Sekiro?
Oh, pretty funny.
Did they make a Sekiro crossover with?
Yeah, right. and we also did get a trailer and a debut date for the animated film, The
didn't
Witcher:
see that.
Nightmare of the Wolf, which is
didn't
coming
see
out in August.
Oh,
August 23rd.
yes. Yes.
Very cool.
I'm very-
But yeah,
also a trailer
lots
for
lots of new stuff on The Witcher. I am really excited for the second season of the show.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed news. So we heard an interesting update on Assassin's Creed. This was last Saturday.
So this
Last Sunday.
specifically, this is not an official thing
Yeah.
that has been said by Ubisoft.
Well, I think they, in essence, confirmed it in their response.
They sort of confirmed it, but yes.
Okay, what I'm going to say is actually the letter from Ubisoft on their website. So I think that that's pretty legit.
Broader report that talks about the game specifically that they're working on.
So they're basically moving forward. They're in the early phases of developing a new game called Assassin's Creed Infinity. This will be a live service. It will also be a cross-studio effort, so it's going to be Ubisoft Quebec and Ubisoft Montreal.
Which is the first time they've done this.
What was that?
This is the first time that they've done this.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed has always been a one-studio project. They always alternate. That's why they release them regularly. So.
And basically what it sounds like from the letter, and I'll link it so everyone can read it for themselves. But what it sounds like they're building is a live service in which they will be tying in multiple historical periods into one game over time. They'll be adding more things in, and you'll be able to jump between, times and places. That is the feel I get from it. That seems to be the feel most people get from it.
Yeah.
And I really like that idea, and it is perfectly squarely in line with the Assassin's Creed franchise. It fits perfectly into what it is.
Yeah.
Also,
And
what's really funny about this is that Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft in general, but specifically the Assassin's Creed franchise, is the leakiest boat in the water. I can't remember an Assassin's Creed that didn't leak 3 years ahead of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time. And
It's very funny.
because it sounds like they're not very far along with this. So
I love this idea though. The idea of let's stop doing single massive standalone games and have one that ties a whole bunch of because I think the most interesting thing is that getting to delve into the time period. And I think the more of those we have, the better. I want to see Japan. I want to see I don't know, everything. I want to see World War One in Assassin's Creed. I want to see.
Did you play Syndicate?
Syndicate was a bit early, wasn't it not? It wasn't World War One.
Did you finish Syndicate?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, there were some points in it that were World War One.
You
Yeah,
spent like 4 hours. World War One.
yeah. Shiver, nothing can fit in the houses in Japan, not even PCs.
So yeah, that's the update on Assassin's Creed.
We should to take the piss out of David.
Shiver's the only one that can do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Shiver does it with impunity, but he's the only one. Though he's had some trouble in the bullshit episodes. There's only so many times he can know that I'm right and be very sad about it, you know. Okay. Forza? Eric. Sorry.
Oh, Forza Horizon 5 is doing an interesting thing. They and this is basically adopting a project of Microsoft's. They're doing what they're referring to in two ways. One is as audio ray tracing, and also basically, well, the way that they refer to it at Microsoft is called Project Acoustics. But basically, they will actually be using a wave acoustics engine that actually simulates everything bouncing off the walls and stuff around you, and bouncing back. And
so
yeah,
there's this thing I do a lot. What's that, Jake?
Ray tracing?
Audio ray tracing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's this thing I do a lot when it comes to Star Citizen. When Star Citizen shows off things like flower petals flowing along and interacting with, you know, people that are lying on the ground, and like, and I tell CIG to stop because that's enough. That's enough. When CIG are like, hey, we've got this food on the plate and it's gonna slowly disappear as you eat the food on the plate, and I'm like, CIG, stop it, and CIG are like, no, we're just gonna do more.
No. More.
And quite frankly, I kind of want to tell.
And tell me that we're ever going to stop.
I know that you're not, but I'm still gonna tell you to stop.
Okay.
And quite frankly, I sort of feel the same about the Horizon 5 devs, in that they need to be told to stop.
So,
True.
yes, by the way, I
Like,
have to mention that
it's the same level of stop, guys. Please.
Forza Horizon 5 was also one of the most impressive games in their presentation too.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on this.
Is it Giganator or Giganator? I like Giganator.
I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on this. Here is the technical explanation from Microsoft. Project Acoustics is a wave acoustics engine for 3D interactive experiences. It models wave effects like occlusion, obstruction, portaling, and reverberation effects in complex scenes without requiring manual zone markup or CPU-intensive ray tracing.
Insane.
It also includes game engine and audio middleware integration. Project Acoustics' philosophy is similar to static lighting. Bake detailed physics offline to provide a physical baseline and use a lightweight runtime with expressive design controls to meet your artistic goals for acoustics of your virtual world. What the fuck?
Stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, amazing stuff.
Gigantor. I added an extra A when there should not have been. I'm sorry.
I'm very curious to see what that studio is going to do with Fable.
Yeah.
Whatever they want. Yes, so we've actually implemented the promises from Fable 1 Do you remember those promises where Peter Molyneux was like, you plant an acorn and come back 50 years later and it's grown into a tree? We've done it. It's there. That is what they're going to do. They're going to actually implement Fable 1's promises.
Perfect.
No, in Fable, because it's
Oh,
the same. It's Playground, right?
they're not going to do that.
Wouldn't it be crazy though if they did?
Yeah.
I mean, hardware now could probably handle that.
Do you know what's wild? And I guess this is just my life now, but I know some people working on Fable now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird.
What was
It is your life now.
who is
You're
it
tied
that
in.
was?
Luan Valenti, the elusive pixel himself. Valenti? I don't
One
know
of
if that's
their
One.
someone that works for Playground was actually with us watching their unveiling.
Yep.
Oh, no,
Remember?
they work at 10.
They were working for someone else.
Right, but
they
they
work
work on Forza.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other Forza.
The other, but that's still cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Niskavian, none of the
those
Fable
cheaters.
games implemented those promises. That's why I'm saying that Fable 4 will finally implement the promises that were made in Fable 1.
There's Jiru who works at Turn 10.
Yeah, it's Jiru. Yeah,
Love Jiru.
Jiru was
He's
great.
been watching our dumb faces for like 100 years.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. All right. Let's. We got 1/2 more segments.
I think just
do it.
one. I got nothing to.
We got nothing
All
to
right.
yell about this week.
Not really. No. Where are we? It's
Of course, there's another bridge constructor game.
segment.
Oh my
Get you
God.
free shit. 2 free things right now on Epic Games Store because Epic Games Store has the freest of the shits. It's Bridge Constructor Walking Dead and Ironcast.
Oh, I
Very
actually have one to add to this. So, if you're one of the 6 people who have a PlayStation 5,
So true.
you can get Plague Tale Innocence for free right now with PlayStation Plus.
Wow.
Oh, that's also on
and
Game Pass.
It got a really nice update.
Ooh.
On
Excellent.
Game Pass as well. Actually, something that I think we should mention as in this free.
Shiver is currently trolling us in our Word document right now.
Apparently, some idiot keeps going on about Japan having small houses despite not even having set foot in the country once. Stop the false news.
False news?
I
Shiver?
mean,
False news?
is it false? Really?
Fake news, Shiver. Come on. 2021, use the correct.
Oh my
Look,
god.
one more. There is one more thing that I want to mention on the Get You Free Shit section, just because we've talked about it so much. FF14 does actually have an incredibly robust free trial. You can play the entirety of the first the game and the first 2 expansions free,
2.0 and 3.0,
all free.
which is up to level 60 for a month, and you can just go ham. If
It's
you
not
want.
even for a month. It's for as long as you want. It doesn't end.
No.
Yeah, there are things that are limited in it. You can't form parties.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
that's
do clans and stuff. But it's unlimited. You can play it as long as you want, free, with a whole bunch of restrictions. But it's try it out. Apparently, you need a 7-bedroom house to be able to play any Final Fantasy game, as having large houses is the final end game fantasy in Japan. Clear discrimination.
Oh my god. Shiver was on the show today, everybody.
Shiver was the best part of the show today.
All right, I need to go to bed. That's our show.
That is our
Thanks,
show.
everybody.
Thank you so much for watching us ramble about video games. Seriously, come join us Saturday, as we
Same
continue, same time,
9
as
p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
we are going to continue the bullshit. And if you want to know my thoughts on on a whole bunch of ships that we've actually already gone through, we've gone through what have we gone through actually? Just
This
2
is,
seconds here.
by the way, for those who joined late, it is Star Citizen ships
Yeah, Star
that
Citizenships.
they're going to be talking about. I will not be there
No.
on the show. I will probably be in chat.
He'll be trolling in chat.
You
Yeah.
better be. I
Yeah.
think we made it through. We have so far made it through
ended at
Aegis,
Consolidated
Anvil,
Outland.
Argo, Consolidated Outland, and Crusader Industries. We start this Saturday on Drake.
Oh boy.
A great
Yeah.
start. Great place to
That
start.
should be
Great
fun.
place to start.
I believe we actually start with the Drake Buccaneer.
No, I will not be on the show.
No,
Gigantor. I will
You will be there.
Yeah.
he'll be watching and making fun of me in chat. He's not allowed to be on the show because.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, at
this one you
point,
probably
I'm
could be.
guessing somebody would say yes, but also
You don't like us. I know.
no. I also can't show special treatment either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and
And you'd have to be on every podcast, and that would get really tiring.
well, I am gonna. I do want to do that at some point and just like
Do
them
the
all.
whole circuit.
when you do that, you can come on ours. But I think it would probably be not good for you to opine about the best looking ships at this point anyway, since you will probably have to interact with the artists that are making those ships.
But also, you and I are in agreement of the best looking ship is the Crusader Ares.
Oh, 100%. The Crusader Ares is the best looking ship in Star Citizen. Period.
Speaking of Star Citizen, I will say what I'm doing this week. Hey, everybody.
Do it up.
It's roadmap week.
Ooh.
Tomorrow,
Exactly.
we're updating the roadmap. In case you missed it in this week in Star Citizen, we are expanding the downstream teams on the progress tracker to include Q3. So there's going to be some new deliverables. You'll see kind of what people have been working on, what they're scheduled to work on for the next 3 months, and then just a general update overall. So yeah, keep an eye out. Probably tomorrow afternoon sometime. Once I do it, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I mean, it's already
yeah.
almost there. It's just yeah. But yeah, go check that out. If you haven't seen the roadmap, robertspaceindustries.com/roadmap. That's where you can find me. But also on Twitter.
That's where you see Jake's heart
Yeah. That's where my heart
beating
is.
on that page.
My brain is at twitter.com/JakeAcapella, which is also you spell my name wrong purposely every week, but it's Jake ACAPPELLA. 1 C, 2 P's, 2 L's.
Every week.
Yep, every week he spells it wrong.
I
He
was
spells it-
particular.
He spells it the garbage way that everyone spells acapella, but this man is Italian. He should know the proper spelling of acapella. Anyway,
I mean, it has. Look, Jake, 3 balls to the wind, a cappella. I'm not in charge of your names.
yes, you are. Clearly.
Look, I just want to end on a really important note. This is breaking news just in from Japan. The PlayStation 5 is a lie. The PlayStation 5 is actually a 5-bedroom house, which does not exist anywhere in Japan. So,
Shiver is never going to let this go. Ever.
I mean, he's going to have to. There's only so much room in his house.
Yeah.
Also, it turns out Nintendo is actually an Italian company and meant to be called Nintendo.
Nintendo.
That makes no sense because all Italian words end in a E I O U or sometimes Y. Though I don't think there's Y in the Italian alphabet. I'd have to double check on that one.
Japanese like that too, Shiver? Don't they all end in some kind of vowel? Am I crazy? Did I completely make this up?
Japanese has
I don't know how Japanese works. I desperately want to learn how to speak Japanese.
almost everything in Japanese ends in a vowel, except they do have the ability to say the n. I think, if I remember my Japanese correctly, which I probably don't. Anyway, thank you so much for coming and listening and watching.
Last but not least, you should come back next week.
It's true.
Yeah. Please.
And join us for this show, which is also every Tuesday, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern Pacific. I don't know why I said it like that. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Tuesdays and Saturdays. Come here. Join us.
Follow the channel if you want to be notified. Hit the bell. Like, subscribe. Give us your
Stalk
money.
us.
Please.
Stalk us. We sometimes bathe.
Goodbye.